For those of you who are just joining us, welcome. We're really glad to have you with us for the creatively named CAP Webinar 2. We do have some really cool things to show you today. A couple of great partners that are going to be joining us. And we look forward to hearing from those of you who are wanting and willing to share your ideas and your plans as well. So the whole time we're talking, feel free to ask questions, of course, but we also want to hear about your events. So if you want to chat those in, or if at some point you want to be taken off mute, I'll ask my assistants and colleagues, very capable colleagues, I might add, Zoe and Heather, to help make sure that we get everybody. First, I know some of you may be joining us for the first time, and this is a national deal, you know, where we have National Child Abuse Prevention Month every year. So I would just like to go ahead and go over some of the national and state recommendations for what we're trying to do in terms of, especially if we're thinking about our collective impact. So we are talking about collective impact and consistency by using the Pinwheels for Prevention logo and all the tools that are branded. If you want to co-brand them, obviously that's going to be fine with us. I know a lot of y'all have already checked that out. So I just want to touch on a couple of other things, and one of them is just the consistency of the logo, the messaging, the use of the national pinwheel. And if you do use numbers in your ads or your posts or interviews, we talk about social math, like saying things like last year we served 1 out of every 3 children in our county, or talking about the capacity of a stadium or how many kids attend a local school. One of the best things we can do, though, we know, is using local stories and common situations that people can identify with, like the need for affordable housing, the need for additional mental health or substance abuse services or treatment. And we can also talk about healthy child development as the foundation for our state and our country's economic development. That, of course, leads to a discussion or a conversation about the fact that we all know that children are the future of our society. And another thing that helps people realize when we're thinking and talking about children reaching their full potential is if we talk about long-term effects of adverse childhood experiences and what we can do to prevent those and allow all children to grow up healthy and happy and with their families where they're supposed to be, and to provide more positive childhood experiences. And if people want to know, what can I do? I know those of you who've been doing this for a while, you have a list of things that people can do. But if you need some information, you can contact us, or you can go to preventchildabusefl.org and you can look for and find the 10 things that you can do to prevent abuse and neglect. Those are just 10. Of course, there are a lot of others. You can find those by going to the toolkit, as you see the link for it here. There's a sample press release, there's a sample proclamation, there's a sample letter to the editor, and social media images, and we're working on getting that sample op-ed. So for the time being, I am going to go ahead and click on the toolkit link, and we will see in just a moment the toolkit.
The updated graphic at the top you'll see is our theme, Everyone Can Help Families Thrive, Especially You. And you'll see right underneath that graphic a little bit about the toolkit and also a link to email me if you have any questions at all. Underneath that, we have just some ideas if you'd like to plan any socially distanced events. That's from last year. And so this is something that we thought might still be useful for some people. Let's go back to the toolkit. As we host these webinars, we will be adding the videos here. And just also so you know, we are also saving them as podcast episodes. So if you're like me and you like to listen and learn while you're driving to work, that'll be on our podcast channels as well. So underneath that, we have the campaign flyer for this year. We have, sure, you can get that open. So nice ideas and tips. Underneath that is a flyer about our Wear Blue Day, which is April 1st, Friday, April 1st. Mark your calendars. And you're welcome to print and post these anywhere. If you want to add your logo to any of them, you're also welcome to do that. Underneath that flyer about Wear Blue Day, that's the link if you'd like to order shirts or other items from our store. You use that Wear Blue 22 discount code until March 21st, and that'll help you save a little bit of money. And there's lots of things. There's not just shirts. There's all kind of items on there. If and when this proclamation is published, we'll put that up here for our Florida governor proclamation. Underneath that, we have some Word documents that you can use as prompts or places to start when you're working on your press release or let it to the editor, or just some general talking points and in a press release. And you can add your own partner-specific examples. See, there's a couple places where you can add your own information. Okay. Scrolling down, there's a whole lot of social media content that includes images and also a calendar just for ideas for when you might like to post something. None of it is set in stone, but sometimes it helps to have some dates suggested to post different things, including suggestion, the Wear Blue Day type things that are tied to a certain day. There's also GIFs for Facebook and a couple other just fun things you can play around with. Do you want to keep going, Chris? So we have digital backgrounds in case you enjoy having a Zoom background, for example. We have some different colors and different styles. Yeah, I can open that up. Some of them you may have seen before. This is Chris's personal favorite.
Yes, it is. There's some that are a little less busy too, if people want to use one that's a little less busy.
All right. PSA, the public service announcements, we have English and Spanish, video and radio. If you need the broadcast quality files, just give me a call or email me. Those that you're familiar with, they're the helping hand neighbor PSAs. Yard sign art, we have some that are more just ready to go right now, and we have some that leave space if you'd like to add your logo. So you just want to look for the file labeled add partner logo, I think is listed in that file name. Activity pages, we have some pinwheel sheet, and we also have coloring pages featuring the Berenstain Bears, one of my favorite book series growing up. We have logo files in every possible combination you can imagine, and also some individual elements of the files like a pinwheel if you need that. There's a certificate of appreciation that's pretty similar to what was last year's. And then these are just some links that you might find useful, the protective factors, tips, then infographic about ACEs, a few other things. And then the last link is everything in one place about pinwheels and pinwheel gardens. If you want to click on that, Chris, that shows all the different ways you can use your pinwheels and some sweet photographs of past campaigns and events. So that's our toolkit. We will, like I said, if we have other resources, we'll add them. And if we, and as we host those, this webinar will be posted on there, and then webinar number 3 will also be posted on that page. Any other thoughts you want me to add, Chris, or anything I forgot?
No, but do you see my screen again with how to spread the word?
Yes.
All right, good deal. I want to check with Heather to see if there are any questions on the chat that we need to respond to.
No, nothing yet, so feel free to send them in.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so here are hashtags. We will continue this year with our Pinwheels for Prevention tour. I think I've mentioned to most of y'all, and we've talked about it on our previous first webinar, the Florida Trucking Association will be with us again this year. I'll also be traveling the state. We'll talk more about that in a few minutes. The events, though, that the Trucking Association is going to be able to attend and bring the truck to are just more limited this year. If you have a request, I'd be more than willing to ask them about it. I think they're probably about as many as they can do. I think we're up to maybe 5 events that they're going to be able to commit to. Just having a lot more trouble getting drivers due to everything that's still going on with supply chains and, you know, people, especially in the trucking industry, have really had to scramble to do what they need to do to be able to keep keep the whole country moving and keep our supply chains moving. So we haven't had access to as many drivers this year, but we do have one more partner. If you would like to have an advertising truck, I should be able to get him to attend those. I would say anywhere from Jacksonville down to Orlando, Tampa area. This is a new partner, by the way, someone that we didn't have previously that I just talked to this morning. We still do have the partner that was doing the 2 events for us, or is doing the 2 events for us in South Florida. But if you would like to have an electronic billboard advertising truck at your event, I just made contact with that new potential partner this morning. He is willing to listen and see if he can get a truck there. So that's something new that just happened this morning. We will continue with our hashtags of Great Childhoods, Pinwheels for Prevention, Camp Month, and Wear Blue. Y'all have been really good at doing that for the past several years that I've been here. And I know that just helped to achieve a greater collective impact. Just one of those things that helps us kind of put everything in one place for people to be able to see it if they're searching, if they're looking on social media. It's one way for people to be able to see what we're doing and to join us. So Wear Blue, Zoe already mentioned, that's April 1st, which is right around the corner now. So we'll be looking forward to seeing your pictures and videos and anything else that you're willing to share with us that you and your team or teams do for Wear Blue Day. Be creative, have fun. We want to see what you do. Looking forward to that. And I mentioned the events. As we receive events, and thankfully a lot of y'all have really started putting in your events just in the past couple of weeks. So the events page that you see the link to here is a lot more populated now, as is the pinwheel map. We've gotten a lot of pinwheel orders. I thank you all so much because we can tell people are just itching to do things. And I have an update on pinwheel shipping. The shipping has begun. There actually was a mass shipping that went out. It was either yesterday or Monday. We will be getting those tracking numbers very soon. So if you have ordered pinwheels, we're going to be sending you your own tracking numbers very soon, especially for those of you who placed your orders prior to Friday of last week. I believe we will have your tracking numbers before this Friday. There's just a lot of emails for the pinwheel shipping folks to go through, and we're in line. We're near the front of the line. So I fully expect us to begin receiving pinwheels as early as this week now, and they will continue shipping. At some point, we'll make a call on when's the last possible day for ordering pinwheels and to receive them prior to April 1st. The good news is that the pinwheels are on dry ground now. They're in the warehouse, and we have enough pinwheels to ship directly from the warehouse. So if you're waiting to the last minute, and I know I've seen several orders that have come through in just the past few days, we will be packing up micro gardens and shipping them out. Hopefully a lot of y'all have received your signs already. So all those will be coming to you very soon. Just call us or write us if you have a specific question about a box that you ordered, a micro garden, or anything that you need to talk to us about. Feel free to give us a call. You can call Heather or myself, or you can email us. Either one. We'll be glad to give you an update on where we are. But that's an overall update for pinwheels and shipping and expectations or arrival. So now I want to get to one of the things that I am really looking forward to. Kim Kutch is with us. Kim is the Community Development Administrator from Circuit 12. And every year they do a fantastic job of celebrating Child Abuse Prevention Month in Circuit 12. And for those of you who don't know, that Sarasota Manatee, and Kim will tell me if I'm forgetting anybody, but I know
DeSoto.
DeSoto, yes. How could I forget DeSoto, Kim? So I'm just going to ask Kim. I'm looking so forward to doing these trainings. This is really one of my favorite things to do anyway. I think you know, but I'd love to just have you talk for a minute about how you put it together. And obviously people can see what you're doing, but would you mind telling us a little about the plan and the events?
Sure. So obviously we work with Chris every year, as do many of you, regarding Child Abuse Prevention Month and activities. And this year I had talked to the Manatee County Children's Advisory Board to see if they'd like to host any trainings during Child Abuse Prevention Month, and they hopped on board quickly. And so we secured the rooms, and Chris is going to be doing 2 trainings on April 11th with Protective Factors and True Colors on that day. And then the Family Safety Alliance covers Circuit 12, and obviously they will do anything that they can to help promote Child Abuse Prevention Month. And so they're going to be hosting 2 trainings in Sarasota and DeSoto County on April 12th and April 15th. In DeSoto County, the school board is always willing to assist us in giving us a free venue. So we are going to be working with the school board in DeSoto County, and then a training in Sarasota is going to be at our office in the morning and at one of the Sarasota libraries in the afternoon in South County.
Excellent, Kim. I think this is just a great example, and I know you and I have talked a lot about this, but the team that comes together and the way that y'all have worked, and not just addressing adverse childhood experiences and forming the group that I believe y'all are calling Minnesota Cares. Am I right about that?
Peace for Minnesota.
Thank you. Yes, that is just awesome. You know, I've really enjoyed watching that from the beginning. And I think that's just one example of what can be done, and the way that you bring your team together and get these things scheduled and done. And like I said, I'm just really looking forward to doing the training. I want to mention, because some folks may be unfamiliar with True Colors, and wonder, what does it have to do with Child Abuse Prevention Month? Well, I think if you know about True Colors, then you know one of the things that it promotes is recognizing strengths and being able to work with a team, as we were just saying. So when you do True Colors, not only is it one of the most fun trainings that I do or we do, but it also gets people to see the strengths in different personalities and convinces us, or helps convince us, that we can work together, that there are different people bring different things to the table. And by the time people leave, I think they have a really good idea about not only the strengths of different personality types, but also how they can work together and what each person brings to the table. So if you'd like more information about True Colors, then feel free to give me a call or email me, and I'll be glad to tell you more about it. But I think we're also focusing on support for staff and workforce development this year. So if you'd be interested in knowing more about what we can do in that respect, we're also going to have a couple of worker appreciation events at different places throughout the month, and just trying to let people know that, number one, we appreciate them and the work that they do, and number two, that they are valued, because maybe they don't hear that as often as we wish we did. So this is just one way that we can offer support to them and show at the same time what we're all doing together to be able to collaborate and prevent abuse and neglect. Kim, anything else you'd like to add?
Sure. I wanted just to tell everyone that I was really excited whenever you brought up True Colors, because I did that training, I don't know how many years ago, maybe 20 years ago. And it was so much fun. I've done it with my staff over the years. You know, we have all done the Myers-Briggs to find out what our personalities are, but this is much more interactive, and it's a lot of fun to do. So I am looking forward to doing this again. And if anyone wants to take a look, I believe my secretary has almost all of our events for April into Chris's calendar, and we are so excited to get back into in-person events here. And so we have a lot going on. So check it out.
Yeah, it is awesome, Kim. And yeah, I believe everything is on the events page. And thank you and the other Kim for making sure that those get on there. And I know I'll have a chance to say thank you to all of your partners down there. But yeah, anytime I've been to Myers-Briggs or taken the Myers-Briggs personality inventory, there's nothing, not saying anything's wrong with it at all. In fact, True Colors is based on Myers-Briggs, as you know, Kim. But I could never remember what my acronym was. It was ENT or TMJ. It was always confusing to me. I thought, well, do I need to go to the ear, nose, and throat doctor, or do I have a problem with my jaw? So I can remember what color I am, and I can remember things about other colors that really help me understand that everyone can contribute to this cause. And I really look forward to it. I can't wait, Kim, you know that. I'm really excited about being able to be with people and listen and learn along with everybody else. Anything else that you'd like to add?
No, I think that's it. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Kim. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for being such a great partner. And we, like I said, I can't wait. It's going to be so fun. So thank you, Kim. I'll look forward to talking to you again later. And then I want to have our next guest. Danielle is with us from Wolfson Hospital. Danielle, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you just fine.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you for joining us. I hope you can see the picture that I've pulled up of that beautiful blue lit bridge there in Jacksonville. I'm thinking about adding this as my desktop. I just think it's gorgeous, Danielle. And if you wouldn't mind also, I know you have a lot of affiliation. I said you're with Wolfson, but y'all are also the Safe Kids chapter for Northeast Florida. If you wouldn't mind telling us just a little about who y'all are and what all you do.
Yeah, sure. And pardon me, I lost my voice a little bit yesterday, so bear with me here. But yeah, so I'm with Safe Kids Northeast Florida at the Players Center for Child Health with Wolfson Children's Hospital. So there's a couple different titles there, but we're really excited about CAP Month. With Safe Kids, we focus on all injury prevention topics. So we try to keep kids out of the hospital as much as possible because it's up to 0 to 19 is unintentional injuries are the #1 killer of kids. So that's what we focus on. We focus on water safety, medication safety, all of the above. It's really a great position. And so for CAP Month, we kind of got some stuff rolling and we're really excited about it. So at the hospital, we're going to be doing a pinwheel contest. So each floor of the hospital is going to get a pinwheel craft kit. And they're going to be able to make the top of a pinwheel, so the spinning part, and they can customize it pretty much like a snowflake, and they get to choose one of the themes like you just previously mentioned, that growing great childhoods and all that great stuff. And they get to make their own and collaborate with their floor to represent what preventing child abuse is to them. And we'll kind of post it in our Skywalk, which gets the most traction, and we'll be able to have, you know, patients, visitors, team members walk through the pinwheel garden. So it's really great. We're really excited about, you know, implementing that. And as you see on the screen, that's our Acosta Bridge lit blue. We're going to have the Acosta Bridge lit blue as well as Daly's Place rooftop. And then we also have, let's see what the next, Lights on Laura. That's the Florida Blue building that's going to be lit blue. And this is all going to be in that first week of April, so about the 1st through the 8th. So we'll have all of that representation as well as some blue lights at the hospital as well. And then finally, our foundation is sending letters to donors, letting them know about Child Abuse Prevention Month and sharing a link to our Positive Parenting website, which Jessica Winberry worked on with behavioral health specialists as well as, you know, child abuse prevention specialists at the hospital. I'm going to throw that in the link in the chat box right there, the link to our Positive Parenting site. That's also where donors can contribute financially if interested. And so yeah, and then we're going to have chaplains doing prayers throughout the month as well. So we're really excited about, you know, CAP Month in the hospital and trying to show our support for the cause.
Excellent, Danielle. I can't wait to see this either. I get to come over there. I think it's the 18th, 19th, 20th to go on board Naval Air Station Jacksonville.
Oh yeah.
That's going to be fun. I hope I'm going to be able to come by and see y'all maybe. So I wanted to add a couple more things that y'all do though, through Safe Kids and other Safe Kids chapters do too. And Safe Sleep is a big part of what y'all do, if I remember correctly.
Absolutely. Yeah, so we have a bunch of safe sleep education that we focus on. We have a safe sleep class as well for caregivers and new mothers. If they're pregnant or if they're about birth to a year old, that's when we like to teach our infant safe sleep course, and we go over product misuse, you know, safe sleep environments, crying, a bunch of different things, swaddling, and it's a really all-encompassing course. Again, it's completely free as well. So we have safe sleep education. We go into the schools as well. We teach medication safety, distracted driving. We do a lot regarding injury prevention as a whole.
Yes, thank you, Danielle. I wanted to make sure everybody realizes that all the connections that are there between, as you said, unintentional injury. And you did mention water safety. I know y'all are heavily involved in it as well.
Yes, water safety we're heavily involved in. We have our 5 Truths brochures, which we give out, the 5 Truths of Childhood Drowning. I'm going to drop a link as well in the chat for Safe Kids Worldwide's website, because they have all of these injury prevention topics and resources for anybody to use. We even go into the schools and daycare sometimes and do our Safer 3 water education. So we focus on, you know, teaching caregivers, having a water watcher at all times, a designated water watcher that's not going to be distracted whatsoever. In any bodies of water, and then also just layers of protection. So putting in that gate around the pool, making sure there's lifeguards at the beach, all that good stuff.
Yeah. Thank you, Danielle. That's very helpful. And one of the reasons why, number one, I appreciate y'all being willing to get on and share. The pictures are gorgeous, and I couldn't get them all on there. I apologize, but I'm sure we'll have a lot more pictures as we go through the month. You know, I appreciate y'all very much. And I just wanted to add that the connections that are there among the various topics that Danielle and I have mentioned, those are all great topics and ideas to organize things around. And I know, Danielle, y'all also talk about car seat safety. So
Yes.
any of these type of things, I think, along with the things that Kim mentioned about the protective factors training, and I know Danielle, Jessica, and I are talking about how we might be able to do more with that. But safe sleep, drowning or water safety, all those things make great ties and great connections for Child Abuse Prevention Month. And the Water Watcher video, I think most folks on the webinar have hopefully seen that video on our website. We'll be running it again in May, by the way, in movie theaters and drowning hotspots across the state. But first things first, let's think and talk about Child Abuse Prevention Month. There are a lot more details to come, y'all. I'm working with a couple other partners already for CAP Month Webinar 3 that'll be able to share some slightly different takes and different approaches and ideas that they are using. So I just want to generate as much conversation and as much discussion and brainstorming as we possibly can, because there's really nothing wrong with tying it into safe sleep or tying your celebrations of prevention, if you will, in with those typical ways that we know, unfortunately, we lose way too many kids every year. So thank you again, Danielle. I can't wait to see the pictures, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what the pinwheel contest looks like. So thank you again for joining us.
And stay tuned for pictures for sure. Thank you so much.
Yes, looking forward to seeing those. This is just beautiful. These photos, I know there are other people across the state that are looking into and or have done and are going to do something very similar. So I'll look forward to sharing those with y'all too. We'll have some on our next webinar. That's the very creatively named CAP Month Webinar 3. So if you haven't registered already, or if you need more information on any of the things that we've talked about today, there's our contact information. You got me, that's my cell phone number. You see our email addresses there. Heather has been a great help and just taken off like a very fast plane. So she's available to answer your questions about pinwheels, micro gardens, lapel pin shipping, all that kind of stuff. And you've met Zoe already, and you know how much of a help she can be. We've been on the phone and on email with a few people this week, in fact, helping them get the co-branding done on those assets that Zoe went over a while ago. And we realized we went through those in a hurry. We also know that most of you probably know how to get to those, and that you know how to get in touch with us if you have questions. But I want to give my two partners in my office, Heather and Zoe, a chance to tell me if there are any questions or comments in the chat. And Heather, I'll ask you first.
No questions so far, but like Chris said, if you have any, you can also email me. I'm ready to help.
Thank you, Heather. You sure are. Zoe, any final thoughts or additional information that we want to make sure that we provide?
I don't see any questions that I've received either. I did want to remind everyone that our podcast is a great place for information and conversations and perspectives from partners all across the state. And also be sure to follow us on our social channels. And we always appreciate an engagement of any kind. So yes. It's a very exciting season for us. So I'm very grateful to all of you for your partnership.
Yeah, me too. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's getting us back together again as in as many ways as possible, having us be able to celebrate what we can do to support the workforce, to focus on prevention, to talk about programs and policies and ideas for how we might be able to stop abuse before it starts. Those are, to me, some of the most important things that I've ever gotten to talk about, and I've been doing this for a while. So those of you who are in intervention land, I'm sure you understand if I tell you that it's time that we paid attention to prevention. So just a couple of highlights for what is coming up. Some of y'all may have been wondering about the statewide kickoff. We're very close to finalizing those plans. In fact, I would say that we will have those plans finalized and be able to make that announcement before our next webinar. And do you have that date handy, Zoe? I had to rearrange when my computer was giving me trouble, so I don't have that date handy.
Yes, webinar number 3 is on St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, and it'll be at 3 o'clock Eastern.
Thank you. Yeah, I know we try to do these at different times of the day and on different days because we know that Florida has 2 time zones. We also know all of you are very busy. So again, I just want to thank you for your time. If you have an idea, if you just want to brainstorm, if you just want to run something by us, again, feel free, reach out, ask us questions, tell us what we can do to help you, help your community learn how to prevent abuse and neglect. Thank you all so much. We appreciate your time today. If there are no other questions or comments, we will go ahead and end our webinar for the day. Thank you everyone for joining us. Appreciate it. Stay dry, stay safe. We'll see you next time. Have a great day.